May I invite you then to deal with the issues that are set out in those paragraphs. You started paragraph 64 with the impending retirement of Commissioner Goodman Mzolo. Thank you.
Thank you, Essie. Good morning, commissioners. On page 19, that's paragraph 64. The Deputy Chief of Police, Operations and Specialized Services, that is Goodman Mzolo, was due to retire at the end of November 2023. I had earlier initiated a process to fill the position in anticipation of his retirement, and the position was duly advertised. The candidates were shortlisted, one of whom was Brigadier Mkhwanazi. Can I go ahead?
Please do.
64. Interviews were held on the 24th of October 2023. A panel was constituted by Human Resource, HOD, HR, that is Linda Kasheka. I was the chairperson of the interview panel, and the other two members were, that is Ms. Kasheka and the HOD Shrek, Zanele Katembo. The two candidates were interviewed, the candidates which were shortlisted. It was Brigadier Mkhwanazi and the staff officer Ivan Duplessis. At the conclusion of the interviews, both candidates, as is a norm for the appointment at that level, were to undertake competency assessment, at the conclusion of which the panel will convene at a later stage and make a final evaluation based on the interview scores and the competency assessment results, and thereafter recommend the successful candidates for appointment. 67, the HOD HR never reconvened the panel for the purpose stated above. I have never seen the competence assessment results of either candidates and do not know if either undertook such assessment. I can confirm that the interview panel thus never completed its task, and neither did it recommend the appointment of any of the two candidates to the post. On paragraph 67, I never saw Brigadier Mkhwanazi. I next saw Brigadier Mkhwanazi with the new insignia Georgettes of the rank of a Deputy Chief of Police. During the first week of December, I remember we were at a roadblock. He came wearing the new ranks of a Deputy Chief of Police. I did not inquire from him how he achieved this rank at first. The panel did not recommend him for appointment, and secondly, neither did I, as the Chief of Police, conferred the rank on him, because this is a norm which, when an employee has been appointed or promoted, I have to confer a rank to that individual who has been appointed.
On that score, if I may, is the rank conferred in a particular way during a particular process, or do you just go to his office and give him or her the necessary insignia and georgettes? What's the process normally?
We usually, or I usually, call my management team and then introduce the person who has been appointed in the department. I bring those ranks to that session, and then I introduce the member to the team, of which is my management team. Thereafter, I confer the rank to that individual who has been appointed.
And as a matter of interest, in conferring the rank, do you get to attach the necessary insignia and georgettes, or do you give them to the member to attach onto their uniform at their leisure?
That is myself as the Chief of Police who must do that work.
Thank you, Chief. You may continue.
I've got a question.
Commissioner Khumalo.
Chief, I'm assuming when you go up the ladder and you become a Deputy Chief of Police at the EMPD, it comes with additional benefits such as a new office, better salary, better conditions. Are you aware of any letter given to Brigadier Mkhwanazi that officially appointed him as Deputy Chief of Police and increased his employment benefits such as salary and office and those things?
Thank you, Commissioner. That is the procedure. Number one, I did not receive or seen his letter of appointment. Number two, yes, there are benefits included in your newly responsibilities which you might have been given, including the office space as well. So that did not come to my attention, the issues of the letter. I did not see it. At a later stage, I wrote a letter to the head of human resource requesting such, including the condition of his appointment, because he was now appointed on a contract basis. He had to do a performance assessment. I have to do performance assessment on him. So he ought to have those. So I've requested from the human resource. It was never provided to me.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Chief. You may then continue with your statement. You were dealing with the contents of paragraph 68.
I thought SC had dealt with number 68.
You may continue. Thank you.
Number 69, I subsequently saw Brigadier Mkhwanazi sign all EMPD communications as a Deputy Chief of Police Operations. I submit that this constitutes a misrepresentation, as he has never been appointed by the panel to this position, neither as he conferred his rank by me as the Chief of Police.
Thank you.
Did you mean recommended there? I had understood that it is not the panel that appoints. The panel recommends, and then the city will appoint, or the city manager. The role of the panel, as I understood it, was to interview, assess, and recommend.
That is correct, Commissioner, as I've just indicated, because immediately after the interviews, one expected that he will then, because this is an HR process, he will then have to go through this assessment competency, thereafter recommendations to the city manager, then who will then finally appoint the individual.
Chief Mapia, yesterday you told us how many deputy chiefs there are and that they report to you. Now, ordinarily, would you have access to information about their appointments, the terms of appointments, and their performance contracts that you say you evaluate? Would you ordinarily have those as the chief?
Thank you, Commissioner. That is part of my responsibilities because all the 5 deputy chiefs of police, they have to sign a performance contract or performance agreement with me, which I will have to evaluate quarterly and submit reports accordingly.
So after Brigadier Mkhwanazi's promotion now to Deputy Police Chief, is he then the only one that whose performance contract you didn't have as a result?
Until September last year, from when he was appointed in December 2023 up to September last year, I never received or I never seen his performance contract and his condition of appointment. But the rest I've got. Reason I wanted also to see his performance agreement contract, because at some stage I've sent him a letter, all the deputies, that you shall all go for vetting purposes. And I've arranged that session with SSA that they must go for vetting. The rest went. He responded to me and said it is not in his performance contract. So that's why I further requested this performance contract from Human Resource that I must go through and see, because he's refusing to go for vetting as a senior police officer. So I could not see his performance contract.
And ordinarily their salaries and benefits, is that information that you would ordinarily have sight of or access to?
That is correct, Commissioner.
And in this case, you don't have?
I do not have Julius Mkhwanazi's information.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Chief Mapie, at paragraph 70, you conclude that Brigadier Mkhwanazi was never recommended by the panel to this position and that you've never conferred the rank that he claims. Can I refer you to paragraph 24 on your statement? We're going back to page 8. And at page 8, at paragraph 24, you say, on 1 December 2023, Brigadier Mkhwanazi was purportedly appointed as the Deputy Chief of Police.
Sorry, SC, to interject, what page you are going to?
I'm page 8.
Page 8.
Going back to in your statement, at paragraph 24.
I'm there.
Have you located? So I'm reading that paragraph that you state, on 1st December 2023, Brigadier Mkhwanazi was purportedly appointed as the Deputy Chief of Police, Operations and Specialized Services. I deal with this particular appointment below. You recall that you dealt with that aspect, and we considered your choice of wording that he was purportedly appointed. And yesterday you said that, no, I'll put it differently. Is it on the basis of the conclusion you draw at paragraph 70 that he was never recommended for appointment, that you never conferred the requisite rank on him, that you state at paragraph 24 that he was purportedly appointed, so you don't recognize his appointment? Is that the position you assume?
That is correct, SC, in the sense that, as I've cleared it up earlier, that the panel recommend, thereafter the process is taken by HR for further assessment, and then with that come back to the committee. Then the recommendation will then go back to the city manager for appointment.
Thank you. Now, if we may go back to page 21, which is where we're at before I took you back to paragraph 24. With the comments, the comment you have just made, we have completed your last chapter regarding Brigadier Mkhwanazi.
Can I just ask a question?
Absolutely, Commissioner.
Still in this chapter. Chief, you report to the city manager, you've told us that. Now, did you inform the city manager about these irregularities? Did you report them to the city manager?
Commissioner, that is an HR function. HR knows exactly that people need to be sent, and thereafter, then she appoints, because she cannot appoint when she do not have all the necessary functions or information. The report which I've sent to Linda Kasheka requesting that information, I think I've CC'd the city manager as well.
When you say you think, is it because you're not sure?
I'm not sure.
Why are you not saying, I did copy the city manager? Why are you not being firm about it?
The report, I went through it, but I cannot confirm seated here that it was CC to the city manager. But there is that report to the city manager, to HR.
And did you report to HR or to the city manager that Brigadier Mkhwanazi refuses to be vetted for this very important position?
I've informed the city manager, where I had the letter of the 3 signatures of the 3 deputy chiefs of police whom I was sending for vetting. All 3, they've signed a letter that they agree that they will go. Then Julius Mkhwanazi came back and sent me a WhatsApp that it is not in line with his condition of appointment. I then informed the city manager as well. Then she lambasted on me and said to me, why am I personal to Julius? Why do I want to send Julius to SSA for vetting and IPIT? I am sending him to my friends so that they can give a negative recommendation about him. This was not personally. I was just following the processes which I was, as the chief of police, to have done.
And to your knowledge, did the city manager instruct him to attend that vetting? Do you know anything about it?
I don't know whether she further instructed him, but I've instructed him, and I also informed the city manager about it.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Commissioner. May I ask you to turn your attention to page 21 of your statement, Chief? And we are moving on to the next chapter, starting at that page 21.
Ms. Cele, before
Yes, Chief.
Chief Mapia starts with his, I've noticed that it's a number of alleged crimes at various places. At face value, nothing seems, for example, to be linked to cartel or syndicate activities. So my mind started racing, and I asked myself to which term or terms of reference do these alleged criminal offenses relate? Apologies if I'm taking,
No, it's quite in order,
I'm
Chair.
taking you by surprise.
Not at all, Chair.
Thank you.
I understand the question. This particular chapter and similar is informed by the very name of this commission. The issues that it covers, even if they are not specifically spelled out in such detail in the actual terms, is inferred in the purpose for this commission. And to our understanding, the commission is a judicial commission of inquiry into criminality, and that would be the criminality within specific institutions as are highlighted in the terms of reference. So the next paragraph, the next chapter, deals with that aspect of the terms of reference insofar as they've been found to exist, or it's alleged they exist, within the Metropolitan Police Department of Ekurhuleni.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Are you at page 21, Chief Mapie, of your statement?
That is correct, SC.
And at that page 21, you then start a new chapter called Criminal Activities by Members of the EMPD.
That is correct, SC.
Can you take us through the contents of that chapter? On my reading, you reference 5 criminal cases, and we will deal with each one in turn. You have numbered them accordingly. So if you could start at your paragraph 71. Thank you.
Thank you, SC, Commissioners. On page 21, that is the criminal activities committed by members of EMPD. Number 71, some members of EMPD are under investigation for various serious crimes, including murders. These cases involves the criminal conduct of 3 members of EMPD, and they are from a former team which was called SWAT, which is headed by Brigadier Mkhwanazi. I will highlight some of these cases below, but Commissioner Spies, who is also going to give much more details on this case, he will speak much more on those 4 or 5 cases.
Thank you. That then brings us to your first case.
The first case, how we manage, Commissioner, to pick up these cases.
Apologies, before you do that, can you have a heading in respect of that case? Let's just put that heading on record, and then you may proceed to address the commissioners in the manner you intended.
Case number 1, the case of theft, kidnapping, extortion, and defeating the ends of justice. That is case number 315-7-2022, which was opened in Benoni.
Thank you. You may then address the commissioners on what you wanted to say.
How we managed to pick up some of these cases, it was because of this blue light saga case. We had now to move to IPID in pursuant of this case of the blue light saga. When we're then at IPID, the executive head of IPID, she then indicated to us that you came with this Blue Light Saga case. We've got a lot of other cases against your own members. So these are some of the cases which she then presented to us at high level, she did not give us the statements by themselves because those cases were still being investigated by IPID. So as I've indicated that Mr. Spies will go much more in detail with those cases, but that was the first case. I don't know whether I must go to the second case.
Perhaps just you have two small paragraphs in respect of that particular case on your statement. If we could just dispose of that before we move to the next case.
Page 21, paragraph 73, the above case which I've spoken about now. This case involves the conduct of 3 officers. I will leave it at that, the 3 officers. Then paragraph number 74, the 3 officers are alleged to have raided the Smoke and King supermarket, confiscated cigarettes worth of 29,000, thereafter kidnapped the manager of the store. They thereafter tendered 1 box of cigarettes to the Benoni police station, claiming they found it abandoned in the field.
Chief Mapie, you indicated that the members involved in the cases that you'll be dealing with are all members of the EMPD, correct?
That is correct, SC.
You have, in identifying the first case, you have provided the case number in full. So there is a recorded case with the police against specific persons. Do you assume that the persons who are alleged to have committed these crimes in that docket, are you suggesting that their identities are not public and that they must be concealed?
I can be guided by the commission. The names I've got, but the details of those names, Commissioner Spies will also come and work on that area. He will be able to give.
I'm interested in the identity of the persons who are alleged to have committed these crimes.
The names?
Perhaps you have sought the commission's guidance, and because my suggestion is there is a specific case opened and a case number is provided, which means that the identities have become public for all intents and purposes. On what basis are you withholding the identities?
Perhaps let me, in the meantime, ask the question while you resolve this issue. Have these people been charged, to your knowledge?
Okay, Commissioner, when we went to IPID, these are the cases which, as I will still go through them in detail, which were highlighted to us. I know that others, the processes has taken place, and others are still pending amongst these cases.
Okay.
Thank you, Commissioner.
I leave it to the chair.
Does that answer the question? The question is a direct one. Are you aware if the alleged offenders have been criminally charged? Are there charges already or not?
The first one I spoke about, commissioners. Charges were laid and the process of disciplinary proceeding.
Leave out the disciplinary proceedings and the substance or essence of the question by Commissioner Baloyi concerns the issue that normally you do not divulge the details of a person before they have actually been charged. And that's about the person being charged criminally. It has nothing to do with disciplinary processes within or rather at the workplace. Do you get this now? So just focus on whether the people have been charged. Are there criminal charges? That's the point of substance.
Departmentally, they were charged.
No.
Criminally,